Most men have no idea that a single question can completely change the way a woman feels about them. Not a compliment, not a pickup line, a question. Because the right question doesn't just start a conversation, it opens a hidden door in her mind. It slips past the walls she has built and lingers long after the moment is over. It stays with her in quiet hours, replaying in her thoughts, stirring feelings she didn't expect. The right question can make her curious, excited, even obsessed, because it doesn't appeal to logic, it awakens emotion. There are 10 questions that can do this, questions that can make a woman feel desire, contradiction, and emotional intensity. They aren't tricks, and they aren't shallow lines you throw out hoping for a reaction. They are weapons. They reach into the parts of her mind where desire lives, where memories hide, where logic has no power. Most men talk too much. They spend their energy trying to impress her, entertain her, or dominate the conversation. But the man who knows how to ask, who listens, who pulls her into sharing herself, is the one she never forgets. Machiavelli said it best, "Power is not in what you say, but in what you can make others reveal." And this is the secret. Women don't fall for the loudest man in the room. They fall for the man who makes them feel something they didn't expect to feel. They fall for the one who listens and draws out the hidden parts of themselves. The reason these questions work is simple: they bypass logic and dive into feeling. They create mystery, emotional tension, and intimacy all at once. Real attraction doesn't happen in her head. It happens in her heart. And when you reach her heart, logic dies and desire takes over. The first question is deceptively simple. What kind of man is impossible for you to forget, even if he wasn't good for you? At first, it seems harmless. But this question is a storm in disguise. You are not asking her about her ideal boyfriend, her type, or who she wants to marry. You are asking her about her emotional weakness. Almost every woman has one unforgettable man in her past. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't safe. He probably wasn't good for her. But he made her feel alive, desired, unsteady. He created a storm of emotions that she couldn't control, a rush she couldn't explain, and he left a mark she could never erase. By asking this question, you are guiding her back to that memory, to the chaos and the excitement, to the emotional addiction she may have never admitted out loud. And here is the secret: when she answers, you're not just hearing about that man. You are drawing her into that emotional state while you are the one in front of her. The intensity she felt then begins to connect itself to you. Most men ruin this moment. They interrupt, they laugh, they say things like, "Wow, he sounds toxic," or "I'd never treat you like that." And just like that, the magic dies. But you are different. You stay calm. You don't judge. You don't flinch. You simply listen, steady and unshaken, while she relives her memory. You become the safe presence while she visits something dangerous. This contrast is magnetic. It makes her subconscious whisper, "This man can handle my truth." When she finishes, don't rush to speak. Let the silence stretch. Look at her, really look at her. Let her feel that you see her, that you understand her. Then say something soft, like, "That says a lot about you. I like what you're showing me." Those words give her permission to open up further, to let you see even deeper. When a woman feels emotionally exposed and you don't flinch, she doesn't just connect to the memory, she connects to you. Because you are the man who guided her there. You are the one who can hold her truth without fear. And that is unforgettable. This is why timing matters. This question is not for the first 5 minutes of meeting her. It is for the quiet moment, the soft pause, the slow evening walk, or the late-night conversation where the world feels small and private. Ask it too soon, and it feels forced. Wait for the right moment, and it feels electric. When she answers, hold the silence. Let her feel the weight of her own story. Then, when the moment is right, look into her eyes and say, "I feel like I understand you more now." And smile. That moment will stay with her. Because you didn't just hear a story, you held her truth. And for a woman, that is the kind of experience that lingers in her mind and heart long after the night ends. Most men will never know this power. But now, you do. The second question is one that most men will never dare to ask. What's the most dangerous thing someone has ever awakened in you? On the surface, it sounds simple, but in reality, it cuts deep. You're not asking for a fun story or a casual memory. You're asking her to return to a moment where someone touched a part of her that wasn't soft or safe, but raw, wild, and real. A moment where she felt something intense, something she couldn't fully control. Most men never go there. They stay in safe, predictable spaces, asking about movies, music, or travel destinations. Those questions are forgettable. They are walls, not doors. But this question walks straight into the shadow she rarely shows anyone. And without saying it directly, it tells her, "I can handle the parts of you that others can't." When you ask this, her mind doesn't just search for an answer. It starts to wonder about you. It whispers, "Could this man awaken something dangerous in me too?" That thought alone creates tension, the kind that hums beneath the surface even if nothing physical happens. And that is where real attraction begins. The key here is presence. Ask the question calmly, with no pressure, no nervous laughter, and no rush to explain yourself. Let the silence do the work. A woman who feels seen and unhurried will start to show you pieces of herself that most men never see. She might smile nervously or tilt her head slightly and say, "I don't know if I should tell you this." Perfect. Don't push. Just smile and say softly, "It's okay." Sometimes danger is beautiful too. Those words flip a switch inside her. Suddenly, you're not just another man. You're someone she can be raw with, someone who can hold her fire without fear. And that kind of presence is unforgettable. If she decides to open up, listen. Don't interrupt. Don't judge. Let her speak, and absorb every word like it matters. That's how trust is born. Not by playing it safe, but by standing in the emotional fire with her, unflinching. And when she's done, lean in just slightly, meet her gaze, and say quietly, "Interesting. I feel like there's something even more dangerous you're not telling me." Now she's curious. Now she's thinking about what else she's hiding, and whether you might be the one who can awaken it. And that is how you step into her subconscious. That is how you start becoming the obsession, not through pressure, but through presence. The third question takes things in a different direction. What signs does your body give when someone attracts you, but you don't want it to show? This question is subtle but incredibly powerful. You're not asking if she likes someone. You're asking her to reveal how her body betrays her when she's trying to hide her desire. And in doing so, you send a clear, unspoken message: "I notice things most men miss." This question flips the usual dynamic. Instead of her thinking about whether she likes you, she starts thinking about her own reactions. She scans her memories, recalling moments where she felt pulled towards someone but didn't want to admit it. And as she remembers those moments, her body might start to reveal those same signals right there in front of you, playing with her hair, glancing away, smiling nervously. You say nothing. You just watch, calm and steady. Then, when the moment is perfect, you lean in slightly and say, "You just did that now." And then you go silent again. That moment is more powerful than any compliment because it makes her feel seen, not for how she looks, but for the hidden signals she wasn't even aware she was giving. This is where attraction becomes electric. Most men are busy chasing the obvious signs. But you? You notice the secret ones. That awareness will make her hyper-conscious of herself every time she's near you. Suddenly, every glance, every movement feels like it might reveal something to you. And the more self-aware she becomes in your presence, the deeper that unspoken tension grows. This is the power of silent observation. Hold the moment. Don't ruin it with boyish laughter or playful teasing. Let the energy do the work. And when she eventually answers, maybe saying, "I get shy," or "I smile too much," that's your moment to strike softly. You lean in and say, "Interesting, because I've seen that from you." Say it slowly, calmly, then leave the silence hanging. That's when it clicks for her. She's not thinking about whether she likes you anymore. She's thinking about how much she's already showing it. And that creates a loop in her mind she can't turn off. This question isn't about collecting information. It's about awareness. And once she becomes aware of how she reacts around you, you've already stepped into her subconscious. And once you're there, you're hard to remove. The fourth question feels quieter, but it might be the most intimate of all. What's your most hidden weakness? The one only someone truly special could ever find. This question isn't loud or flashy. It's like a whisper that slips under her guard. You're not asking for a secret just to know it. You're sending a deeper message. I want to see the real you, the part you don't show anyone else. That hits her differently. Most men skim the surface with casual questions. You're inviting her to step into the vulnerable space beneath all of that. This question touches the part of her that feels tender, fragile, maybe even afraid of being seen. And that is exactly why it works. When you ask this, don't push. Don't lean forward like you're demanding an answer. Ask it like an invitation. Give her space to hesitate. Maybe she looks down or laughs softly and says, "I don't know if I should say this." That's when you smile gently and reply, "You don't have to. I'm already imagining it." Boom. Now you've created a secret space between you, an emotional intimacy that doesn't need words to exist. She feels seen, even without saying a thing. And that kind of intimacy is far more memorable than any compliment. If she chooses to answer, listen like it's the only thing that matters. Absorb it. Respect it. Don't make light of it. When a woman feels emotionally safe and just slightly exposed, she starts to open in ways she didn't plan to. Not because you forced her, but because your presence feels like permission. That's the kind of bond that lingers in her mind for days, weeks, sometimes years. She'll start to feel like you're the only one who truly understands her. And the man who can reach that level of emotional connection, that's the man she won't forget. The fifth question is one that slips into her heart without warning. What's something you wish someone would notice about you but they never do? This isn't just a question, it's a mirror. It forces her to pause, look at herself, and touch a part of her that feels unseen. Every woman, no matter how confident or adored, carries something unspoken inside her, a hidden beauty, a quiet talent, a piece of her soul that no one seems to recognize. Maybe it's the way her mind works late at night, the kindness she gives when nobody is watching, or the strength it took to survive something she never talks about. Most men will never touch this space, because most men are too busy chasing surface-level reactions. They notice the obvious, the smile, the outfit, the laugh. But the man who notices what no one else sees, that's the man she can't forget. When you ask this question, you're telling her, without saying it, you see you, even in the places others don't look. Here's the beauty of this question. It makes her feel both vulnerable and valued at the same time. She'll think about moments where she silently wished someone would notice, someone would care, someone would truly understand. And in that moment, she begins to feel like you are that someone. This is where emotional intimacy is born, not in flashy compliments, but in the quiet recognition of her hidden self. When she starts to answer, don't interrupt. Let her take her time. She might smile shyly, look away, or even laugh softly as if she's embarrassed by what she's about to say. That's perfect. Let the silence hold her. Let her feel that you are present, steady, and patient. And when she finally speaks, listen like every word matters. After she answers, resist the urge to immediately respond with a compliment. Instead, let a small smile touch your lips and say something like, "I see that in you now. I don't think I'll ever forget it." That line lands like a spark because it gives her what she's always craved: recognition. And the moment you become the man who notices her in a way no one else has, you leave a mark that lingers long after the conversation ends. The sixth question is the one that stirs the storm inside her. Have you ever had a moment where you felt completely out of control and loved it? This question doesn't just touch her memory, it touches her pulse. Most women live in a world where they have to be composed, careful, and in control. They're used to making the right choices, saying the right things, and keeping themselves safe. But every woman has a moment, at least once, when all of that disappeared. A moment where she felt like she was free falling, caught in something bigger than herself. Maybe it was a wild night that made her heart race. Maybe it was an adventure that pushed her to her edge. Or maybe it was a connection with someone who made her forget her own rules. Whatever it was, that memory lives in her body like fire. When you ask this question, you're not asking for details. You're asking her to relive that sensation. The rush. The thrill. The danger she secretly craves. And without saying a word, you're planting another question in her mind. Could he be the man to make me feel that way again? That thought alone makes her pulse quicken. The secret is in your delivery. Ask calmly, without any teasing or pressure. Hold her gaze as if you already know she has a story worth telling. Most men would ruin this moment with jokes or with obvious flirting. You don't. You stay steady. You let the silence invite her to step closer, emotionally. She may smile nervously or look away and say, "I don't know if I should tell you," and that is exactly where the magic is. Don't push, don't rush, smile just a little and say softly, "It's okay." Sometimes losing control is the most beautiful feeling in the world. That line does two things: it validates her experience, and it signals that you can handle that side of her, the one she doesn't usually show. If she opens up, listen as if the world stopped moving. Don't interrupt, don't judge, don't try to top her story with one of your own. Just be the calm presence who can hold her chaos without fear. Because when she feels like she can reveal the part of herself that thrives in danger, and you don't flinch, she associates that wild, intoxicating energy with you. The seventh question is like opening a secret door in her mind. What do you think people misunderstand about you the most? This is not a surface-level question. It doesn't just ask her about hobbies or opinions. It dives straight into her private world, the place where her unspoken frustrations and hidden truths live. Every woman carries a part of herself that feels unseen or misread by the world. Maybe people think she's cold when she's just shy. Maybe they assume she's always confident when, deep down, she sometimes feels fragile. Or maybe they've judged her without ever taking the time to truly understand her. That hidden tension, the gap between who she is and how she's seen, is something almost no one asks her about. When you ask this, you give her a gift most men never will, the chance to be understood. And in that moment, she doesn't just see you as another guy. She sees you as someone who looks beyond the surface, someone who wants to meet the version of her the world never takes the time to know. That is rare. That is unforgettable. Here's the key: you must ask this question with calm curiosity, not intensity. Look at her softly, almost like you're inviting her to share a secret without saying it. When she starts to think, let the silence stretch. That silence is where the trust grows. She might frown slightly, smile in a shy way, or even glance down before speaking. She's deciding whether to let you in. If she shares something, listen like it's the most important thing you've heard all week. Don't interrupt. Don't rush to reassure her with, "Oh no, you're not like that," because that kills the magic. Instead, let her speak, let her feel seen. And when she's finished, lean back slightly, give a slow nod, and say something like, "I get that. I feel like I see the side of you most people never do." That line is powerful because it makes her feel special without you showering her with empty praise. You're not complimenting her looks or her charm, you're recognizing her soul. And the moment a woman feels truly seen for who she is, not the version everyone else projects onto her, she will start associating you with safety, depth, and connection. The eighth question is quiet, but it strikes straight to the heart. When was the last time someone made you feel truly seen? This isn't a question she hears every day. Most people ask her about her plans, her work, or her hobbies, surface-level things. But this question, it's a soft blade that cuts past all the small talk. It makes her pause. It forces her to think about the rare moments in her life when someone didn't just look at her, but really saw her, saw who she was beneath the layers, the masks, the roles she has to play in her everyday life. And for most women, those moments are few and far between. When you ask this, her mind begins to search. Maybe she remembers a fleeting moment with a friend who understood her without words. Maybe a lover once made her feel exposed and cherished in the same breath. Or maybe, she realizes no one has ever truly seen her at all. That realization alone creates an emotional opening. Because in that instant, she's sitting in front of a man who is seeing her. And that contrast, the memory of absence and the presence of you, creates a quiet spark. Here's the power of this question. It isn't just about her answer. It's about what happens in her body as she remembers. Her breathing might slow. Her eyes might soften. She might break eye contact for a second, lost in thought, before returning to you with a look that's different, heavier. This is where you stay calm, patient, and unflinching. Machiavelli would say that true influence isn't in talking, it's in creating the space where the other person willingly steps closer to you. When she finally answers, listen deeply. Nod softly, but don't jump in with a compliment or a joke. Let the moment breathe. If she says, "I don't know, maybe never," that's your cue. Look into her eyes and say slowly, "I think I see you now. And I like what I see." The ninth question is where curiosity meets danger. What's the wildest thing you've wanted to do, but never told anyone? This question slips past her defenses like a shadow. It's not just asking for a secret, it's inviting her to open the box where her hidden desires live. Every woman has a wild thought, a private fantasy, or an impulsive idea she has never said out loud. Maybe it's reckless. Maybe it's thrilling. Maybe it's something that would shock the people who think they know her. But she's never spoken it because the world doesn't feel safe enough to hear it. When you ask this, you become that safe place. A man who can hold her secret without fear, without judgment. That alone makes you different from 99% of men. Most men live on the surface, they talk about parties, movies, and social media trends. You're walking into her shadow, softly telling her, "It's okay. I can handle the real you." When she hears this question, her mind starts racing. Maybe she laughs nervously. Maybe she bites her lip or looks away for a second. That's the moment to stay calm. Don't joke. Don't pressure. Just let the silence hold her. Eventually, she'll say something, maybe small at first, something safer than what she's really thinking. That's fine. Accept it with a knowing smile, and then lean in slightly and say, "Interesting. I feel like there's something even wilder you're not telling me." That line flips a switch in her mind. Now she's thinking about the real answer, the one she's never shared, and she's wondering if you're the man she could finally share it with. Even if she doesn't say it out loud, you've created a spark, a loop in her thoughts where she begins associating that untamed, electric part of herself with you.